Good morning. It is February 10th. It is a Thursday. Getting my exercise in. It is 5:54 this morning. A lot later than I expected, but that's okay. You know what? Be kind to yourself. No, that's what Jesus said. That's what Peter said. What did Jesus say? Get behind me. But we're out here. We're doing it. We're getting our exercise. We're sweating. Feeling good. Did a push up so far. Did 100. Did 90 so far. Did 90 push-ups this morning. And finishing up with this video. And I'll do one more set of push-ups at the end. Man, yesterday was a doozy of a day. Yesterday, a few days ago, some friends had tossed my name around to some other friends. And so that person, which I don't know very well, but anyway, they asked me, hey, we heard you're doing videos. Would you be able to make a slideshow for our father's funeral? And I thought about it. I'm like, okay, I'll do it. So I agreed to do it. And I started working on it 2 days ago. And it was going good and going well. But I started, I started working with a new program that I haven't worked with too much called After Effects. And so the layout was different and the controls are different. And just the whole approach to editing videos on this program is very, very different. The premise of this one is not so much compiling videos together. It's more to make graphics and things that Adobe Premiere can't really do natively. You can do it, but to get around it is very, very difficult. And it's just a different, I don't know how to explain it. It's a different workspace, and it's a lot harder. Let's put it that way. It's a lot harder because I guess I should say it's harder because I haven't used it very much. So I got started working on this slideshow presentation, and there is a way that I could have done it that it would take me not very long, but that's not me. I feel if I'm going to do something, I'm going to give it 110%, 120%, even to the detriment of myself. And I think that's basically what happened yesterday. So I got started. What is yesterday? Yesterday was Wednesday. So Tuesday, I got started on it. I started working on it, compiling everything together, and they gave me the pictures. I got some information from them. What song would they like to use? And then I got started. And a lot of times people don't think about, like, especially if you're using a different language, some scripts and some fonts are not supported. So you can't use Times Roman numeral, times Roman Times numeral, or Arial, or the common fonts that everybody uses in Vietnamese sometimes, because they don't support it because of the characters and whatnot. So some small things like that, like I had to research and make sure if I put it into the slideshow, like the TH is written in beautiful cursive, and then the A with the hat looks like like a totally different letter, or a different font. So I got started on that, and yesterday morning I sat down before I came out to my run, woke up normal time, and I sat down on my computer to see how the rendering went, because the rendering was taking really, really long. There's a lot of graphics and stuff, and so I wanted to see if I had to export this video, how long would it take? And it took well over, and I've got a, not too shabby computer, and it took my computer well over 3 hours to export a video that was 6 minutes long. 3 hours, because there's a lot of graphics and things like that. So yesterday morning, I get started again on the real, like, assembling and putting everything together, putting pictures here and there, and I don't know what it is about me. Maybe it's the combination of being a challenge, as well as that feeling like I need to get this done and over with and out of my mind and finished with it. And so I started at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I honestly can say, besides the 2 hours let's give it 3 hours because I had to work on a talk an hour before the meeting. The 3 hours in the day from 5 a.m. to the time I went to sleep at about 9:45. But I was working on that video all day long, and it was so brutal, so brutal. Yeah, and it's one of those things, like, it's because I'm not super familiar with it. I'm learning along the way, and it's one of those growing pains that you gotta go through it. If you want to become good at something, you gotta, I just kept telling myself, like, you're learning right now. You're learning. Even things to navigate around the timeline, you know? It's not as easy as Adobe Premiere, or it is pretty easy, actually. I figured it out eventually. But things, just moving the timeline, yeah, it's just a lot of work. And on top of that, along through the day, I had exported a really rough looking copy that doesn't take hours to export to the family, and to say, hey, this is what it's gonna look like. Do you have any thoughts on it? Now, mind you, I used all the pictures that they gave me, and it takes a long time to edit pictures and graphics like that, because you gotta understand, like, a picture is not just a flat image on a screen. Nobody likes to look at a slideshow that's like picture, 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 picture. You try to make it pleasing and nice and fun to look at. And so if the picture just starts to move like this, like, that takes work to do it, right? If picture has to move up and down, like, that takes work to make it do that. Now what I did, maybe I'll show it, or I'll post a link to it when after the funeral. But what I did is not only make it do this, I also made it do this. So adding a 3D effect to a 2D picture. Okay, so not only that, but I also made all the other pictures appear behind it. So I got like other pictures, and they're all like overlapping and doing all of this and turning and pivoting, and like it's all of that. But it's very, very pleasing to look at, and yeah, I'm learning along the way. But it took an ungodly amount of time yesterday. And so, as I sent the rough copy away, the family comes back and says, "Oh, sorry, can you take out these 10 pictures, and basically, can you put these new 10 pictures?" Okay, thanks. And then, by the way, can you like add notes to the video? And I'm like, it's easy to put just text on the screen. It's for me, it's easy to do that. You press the T or the type 2 or Control T, boom, you type out text there, the text there. But to have it move with all the graphics, like, that takes a lot of work. So I mean, it's easy to ask to swap in pictures here and there, but the level of difficulty that I put upon myself, this is nobody else's fault except myself. And I knew that going into this, that this is, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it and look good and make it look good. I'm going to learn something along the way, even though it's taking. I've spent over this whole thing. I've spent well over 25 hours working on this 10-minute video. And it's coming in sections too. The video starts with like them at the funeral home, and then it's the family, and then it's the friends. So funeral home, family, and friends, and then kind of making one cohesive video with two different themes. So anyway, yeah, yesterday they're asking me to switch out pictures, and as I'm working on pictures, I'm looking at the folder that they originally sent me, which is a Google Photos folder. And so I'm looking at the picture that I'm working on, and I'm looking into the folder. I'm like, hey, I don't see this photo in the folder anymore. I'm working on that photo, and he's like, oh yeah, I deleted that photo. Can you just delete that? And that's a little frustrating for me. That's a little frustrating. Like, I'm trying to edit this video, but on this side, they're deleting photos out of the folder without telling me. And so, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I was having a headache. But I spent about like 20 minutes looking for this one folder. I'm looking at the folder, I'm looking at the folder, look at the folder. And I was like, I can't see it. Like, maybe I'm just going cross-eyed for a little bit, but let me just step away from the computer, come back, and I look, and it's not that many photos. It's like 30 or 40 photos in that one folder. I'm looking, and 20 minutes later, I'm like, hey, sorry, I'm looking all over for this photo. Can you help me find this photo? And he's like, oh no, I deleted it. I was just like, oh man, you gotta tell me this kind of stuff. Yeah. But once again, I gotta state, this is all my fault. This is all on me because I have the personality that if I can, I'm gonna take it to the next level. Like whatever I do, I try to take it to the next level. Much to the detriment of other things at times, you know. Yesterday I didn't get to do my workout. Yesterday I didn't make these videos, and that's also the detriment of me sacrificing these things to work on that video. Did I learn a lot? Yes. Is there a lot of like carryover to another project? Yes. Am I a bit intimidated now of After Effects? Yes. Would I be willing to do another slideshow for not a random person, but you know, an unpaid gig like this for just an acquaintance? No. But that's the hard thing. The wife and I talked about it last night too. Is like something I have a problem saying no. I have a problem saying no, and it's I have a problem saying no first of all, and then I have a problem not being satisfied with just an okay video. Just an okay video. And so so I say yes, and then I take it to the next level. But anyway, that was basically my whole day yesterday. I learned a lot, and so this morning I finished it basically last night, and I let it export overnight last night. But this morning I woke up and checked on the video, and it's intact. Looks good. Looks good. And yeah, hopefully I'll share it with you guys. If you guys don't see it, remind me in 2 weeks if you want to see the video. If you're ever watching this and I haven't left it in the comments after the fact, like let me know, and then I'll share that with you guys. But yeah, that's Jesse. That's me for you guys. Yeah, I even had a talk last night. I had a talk last night. And I worked on it for like an hour before the meeting started. And my wife's like, you gotta work on your talk. I'm like, I know, but I can't stop. I'm like just in the zone, and just like, just can't stop working on this. I need to get this done. I just can't stop. And finally I just said, I gotta stop because I gotta work on my talk. Thankfully it's a talk with the video, which is, I knew that going into it already. It's not like I was surprised and expecting to work on a 10-minute. I knew that first part already. And I was pretty familiar with Hannah, and I've written a lot about her in my journals and about her prayers, and I wish I could have like painted more of a picture, but I was only limited to a few minutes, and there's points that I got to cover, so I didn't get to talk about that visual image that I had in my mind about Hannah at the temple, which was very well illustrated by the Caleb and Sophia video. But I had a couple more thoughts that I had on that, but maybe one day I'll give another talk on Hannah, and I'll share it then. Thank you guys very much for watching this video. It's been too long. It's 13 minutes already. Not like my 20-minute video. And I'll shout you out. Moses, thanks for watching that video. You said you watched the whole thing on double speed, and you watched the whole thing. And I just told you that story the night before. But whatever. Thanks a lot. Speaking of that phone, it's coming in today. So I ordered a new phone, and I'll get it in today sometime. That's what the notifications on my Lazada app says. So yeah, love you guys. Thank you guys very much for checking up on me, saying hello, and watching me work through my struggles. Yeah, it's gonna be a good day. You guys take care and keep up the self-discipline. I'm working on it myself too. Yeah, we'll catch you later. Aloha, take care, have a good one.